Hello, my beautiful Libras. Welcome in, welcome back, welcome to my channel. I am Lisa, and this is North Star Energy Healing. We are now doing a reading for the first part of December, the 1st through the 15th-ish. We're going to be doing the coffee cup as well as oracle cards, animal oracle, and I will be pulling the tarot live with you here for this message. I hope you're all doing well. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate each and every one of you. Please remember this is a collective reading, not a one-to-one. So take what resonates and leave the rest. Also, please do give the video a thumbs up. It's all I ask. I don't have ads. I'm trying to grow my channel still. So please hit that like button. Thank you so much. Okay, first thing I want to say is there is a full cold moon in Gemini on December 4th. You could be feeling pulled in two different directions during that time, or you could feel like oversharing, over communicating, because that full moon energy in Gemini, the communicator, and the twins could have those two types of effects on you. All right, let's get right into it. These coffee cups this time around have been kind of sparse. I don't know why. I don't know why that's happened this time. All right, let's see. You've got this beautiful yellow one. I think I'm going to get another one of these because they're very easy to read because they're white on the inside, but pretty to look at. Okay, here's the overview of your cup. Libras. Okay, Spirit. What do we have? What do we have? I see a spinning vortex right away. First thing I see, vortex. If you listen to Abraham Hicks or Esther and Abraham Hicks, they always talk about putting things into the vortex so the universe can get them and give them to you. So this could be a time where you need to concentrate or focus on manifesting something you really want. I see a painter's palette right there. I think you can see that. There's like the thumb hole and then the places where the paint goes. I don't know if people still use those. So that is a sign of creativity, of color, of, bringing color into your life maybe. It could definitely be saying to you, try your hand at painting. Try being creative by painting. Art. The beauty of art is in the eye of the beholder, right? And the beauty for the creator is how they feel when they're creating. You're really in a zone. It's almost like meditating. So I'm getting that kind of vibe from that. I see like two animals, like pets, lying facing each other. One's a little bit bigger than the other, and they're just kind of lying there casually, communicating telepathically to each other probably. Lots and lots of animals come out in these coffee cups. It's so nuts. So seeing that could just be, right beneath them are two people holding hands. So two animals, two people, and it's almost making a circle kind of right here. And so the circle of communication, of love, of, I don't know, there's two people that have two pets. Oh, that's so funny. Remember that your animals can sense all of your frequency and feelings, right? Dogs and cats, especially dogs and horses. Cats, they can, but they're not as, if you're not feeling good or something like that, your dog really will typically come right up to you. And horses can feel your energy when you're riding them, petting them, when you're around them, when you're putting your hands on them. They can really feel it and they can give energy back. Next, I see a person holding a balloon. I see the string of the balloon. I don't know. I'm just amazed sometimes at the things that come through. It's like, what does that mean? Holding a balloon of hope. So some of you... Spirit, what are you trying to say? Balloon of hope. Some of you have given up hope on something, either a new job, a new home, having a child, but the Spirit is saying that they don't want you to give up on that hope, right? They want you to feel joy and like the magic of a balloon. When you have balloons do make people happy, right? Well, unless you're afraid of them, but I don't know. So don't give up that balloon of hope, my beautiful Libras. Okay, what next? I see the face of a camel. Now, that's not going to be for everyone for sure. Maybe some of you are planning a big trip this December, going to the, where is that? The Middle East or whatever, where camels are. Maybe you, I don't know if that means something to somebody, camels. Now I'm getting somebody in spirit that used to smoke Camel cigarettes is coming through to just tell you that they're still around. Their energy is around you. They love you. They see you. They see what you're doing. Okay. Oh my gosh. Okay, what now? I see somebody throwing their head back, just dancing, singing, being super happy, and celebrating something. Celebrating something. Could be a birthday, anniversary, wedding, baby. But I see this person, I'm feeling the exuberance of this celebration. I see somebody climbing a straight up rock face. Like they're walking up the sheer rock face. That could, maybe some of you have a rock climber or a free climber in your family or friend group. I don't get any specific message about that. They're just showing me a person walking straight up the side of a cliff. So if that means something to you, I'd love for you to comment. I'd love to know what that means. Okay, Spirit, what is this? I'm trying to get a handle on. Okay. Next I see somebody pulling a person that's in like a sled, or is that a horse and carriage? Sleigh? No. I don't know what this means. It's a person who is towing behind them somebody that's in like a sled type thing. It could mean that you are pulling somebody along behind you, not physically, but that somebody is kind of riding your coattails, so to speak. That this person is beginning to be a burden. Beginning to be a burden, and you're like, oh my gosh, can they just do this on their own? Why do I always have to be there to do all this work and show them what to do and where to go? I'm ready to be done. Okay. I see an anvil. An old, like a heavy anvil. It's like if you watch the Roadrunner cartoons, the coyote was always dropping an anvil on the Roadrunner, who would never die. Something's weighing you down. Yeah. Someone, so you really feel weighed down and bogged down by this situation, whatever it may be. There are stepping stones that can lead you out of that situation, but it's almost like they're saying you're going to have to take it one step at a time to kind of get this person or situation or whatever it is to finish, right? To complete. Okay. All right. Let's see. Bottom of the cup. Bottom of the cup. You see how all that darkness, and then there's all these little like pinholes. You see that? So kind of what I'm feeling is that with that situation, there are little sparks of light and hope. Whatever situation that is, you have sparks of light and hope, and then it kind of goes dark and light. It's, yeah, I don't know. They're not giving me like exactly what the scenario is. It's going to be different for everyone. Something is holding you back, holding you down. Something feels like a burden, and in order to move on from it, you're going to have to take steps, like this step, next step, next step, and those pinholes of light coming through are like, all right, I've gotten this far, and the pinhole of light gets a little bigger, or another one is made until the full light is there. Okay, so just, taking those steps. Now I see this looks just like the Fool. It's a person with a pack on their back with their arm raised. So new beginning. And that could be after you take those steps to, kind of let go of that burden, or, that person, or whatever that is. Interesting. Okay. Oh, wait a minute. I don't know. Okay, I guess. All right, let's see what the plate has now. There's the overview of your plate. Okay, Spirit, what do you have for my Geminis? Wow, I see a couple of semicircles. One is right here and one is right here. They're kind of facing opposite each other. So that could have to do with that burden. Like you're closing that, so that person, place, or thing, you're closing off access little by little. I see this right here. That could also be the letter C. I don't know if that means anything to you, but yeah, I definitely feel that step by step, kind of closing that off, getting that person to be on their own, or that coworker, or that, I don't know what it is. It's going to be different for anyone who resonates with that. Again, I see a figure with a pack, kind of, reminiscent of the Fool. Legs, see the legs jumping, the pack on the back here. So definitely something new coming in, and I feel like it has to do with when you release the burden, that anvil, that person that you're pulling or dragging behind you, that once you get done with that, Libras, that things will balance back out. And you'll be able to kind of, they're giving me the feeling of, oh my gosh, I'm so glad that's done and over with. I'm so glad I've finished that. And yeah, maybe this person isn't a burden by choice. Maybe you're caring for somebody who's going to cross. Okay. That could be for a very select few of you. Yeah. Okay. And it doesn't mean that you don't love the person or you don't want to be there for them. But when that's going on, it is difficult. I went through it with my mother when she was sick. All right, so let's see. Anything else? Another semicircle. Yeah, for some of you, it could be the burden of caring for someone who's going to cross. For some of you, it's going to be taking the steps to get this person to be on their own, like pushing the bird out of the nest. Like, okay, you don't need me anymore for this. You can do this on your own. You've got this. It reminds me of that. I can't remember if it was this reading or the last reading that I was talking about. I think it was the last one. This friend of mine that was constantly dependent on me for everything, constantly negative and whining and crying, no matter how much I tried to help her. And I finally had to cut that friendship off. I couldn't do it anymore. I couldn't deal with it. I just gradually kind of stopped, I weaned her off of me, so to speak. And then I just was like, yeah, I'm done. And sometimes we have to do that. Okay, I'm not really seeing a lot of other things in here, but you had two messages of the Fool. You had three messages with that semicircle kind of, making the kind of closing off, right? Okay. All right, let me get a sip of my coffee. Year-round iced coffee for me. All right. So I use the Starry Beginnings Oracle cards by Cassie White. And number 31, which is a 4, stability or stagnation. Embrace the dark. Shine your true light upon this earth. Okay, so this is a card of understanding that we are not all, light all the time. We have our dark side. We're human. It's duality. What is a dark side? I mean, I'm not saying that, we're a murderer on one hand and then we're a light being on the other. Our darkness could be our fears, right? Fear holds us back, and fear does put us into darkness. It could be childhood traumas that are on our dark side, right? And we need to shine the light on those, bring them to light, deal with them so we can move on. This could definitely have to be with that anvil have to do with the anvil message or what you're pulling, right? If there are traumas, childhood traumas or even adult traumas or abuse traumas or what have you that you're dealing with, that you've pushed down inside, it's time to shine a light on those and get rid of them. Start the new year with a clean slate, right? Free yourself of guilt, burden, shame, right? Free yourself of that. And from the Magical Times Empowerment cards, you have flexibility. Gently flow through the turbulence. Life has the ability to shape you. Bend, don't break, right? Gently flow through the turbulence. So this could be dealing with the dark side, the dark emotions, whatever you've shoved down in there that needs to have a light shined on it. Life has the ability to shape you. Yeah, everything that we have gone through, I've gone through many dark times, and it has shaped me into the person that I am today. And I'm very understanding about what people go through because I've probably been through it. Bend, don't break. So a reminder, keep your light strong. Okay, Libras, keep your light strong. Bend, but don't break. Bend, in other words, bending is dealing with the situation, right? Bending is dealing with the situation, right? Breaking would be going into a full-blown depression over it, and we don't want that. Okay, let's get the tarot portion of your reading, and then we'll do the animal oracle to close off. Lots of messages here. Oh, Six of Cups. That's nostalgia. That's childhood innocence. And you may want to get back to some of that, right? Just enjoying the simple things in life, Thinking back to, I do this sometimes. I think, gosh, when I was like 10, 11, 12, life was so innocent, I had no idea about what adult life was going to be like, right? And sometimes it's nice to think back about those times, to actually feel into it. I do it a lot. When I was a kid growing up in Bath, my grandmother lived right on the border of Hyde School, and it was a huge acreage of forest and grass, and there was a pond, and I loved being there. I just loved it. It was very freeing and a lot of fun. So sometimes I will. Sometimes when I meditate, that's where I picture myself being. Sitting on the bridge that went from the grounds over to this little tiny island. It's tiny, right? The bridge was, I don't know how, maybe 50 feet long, and it was cement and stone. And I would sit on a certain spot on that bridge. And so sometimes when I meditate, I picture myself being there. And that's nostalgic to me. So that's what I would say would be healthy nostalgia, right? I don't get stuck there. I just go there when I want to feel good. And sometimes it just helps me to get into that beautiful, blissful feeling. So this is what this card can do. And my guides are never wrong. So they're giving me this message to give to you for a reason, right? So maybe if you're having a hard time feeling good, you can go back to a time in your childhood when everything was still fresh and clean and new and exciting and innocent, right? To get into that beautiful feeling of bliss so that you can meditate and maybe confront and let go of some of these things that you've been holding back. Seven of Pentacles. Okay, this is choosing what you want to use from your arsenal of things you've created, right? Could be classes, degrees, money, whatever you've created, time, anything. He is deciding what he's going to pull out of that toolbox to use right now. So this could have something to do with, again, this here, right? Getting rid of whatever you need to get rid of that you don't need to drag along with you. What tools that you have in your toolbox are you going to use for that? Meditation, chakra clearing, Reiki session, anything like that that can help you clear out those old stuck energies. Four of Pentacles, again, Pentacles are what's in the physical, right? Your car, your home, your job, your money, your 401k, savings, what have you. He's got a pentacle on each foot, one above his head and one in his hand. This is a card of you have to decide what to keep, how much to give of your money, your time, your effort, your energy, your frequency, right? Don't deplete yourself, right? But we want to keep a balance of give and take in this world. We want to keep that flow going. Like one of your cards was talking about that, right? What was it? This one? Gently flow through the turbulence. Yeah. So you want to keep the flow going with your time, energy, frequency, effort, money. Money should flow in and out, right? There should be a good flow of money. Nobody should hoard money. Yes, we want to have enough savings so that we can, if an emergency happens or what have you, we have that. But just hoarding it all, that's what my parents did, both of them. They were afraid to spend money on anything. And then they died with a couple $1 million. Well, I didn't see any of it. It all went to my step-parents. But instead of enjoying that while they were alive, they just kept hoarding it. And it's just, yeah. Okay, that was an example. Justice. This is you, Libra. So this is definitely your message, Libras. Okay, this is your card. 11, Justice. I don't need to talk about it. When your card comes out in your reading, it's Spirit saying, listen up. Listen to what we're saying. Page of Cups. Pages are messengers. Yeah. Spirit is definitely trying to get a message to you that they love you, right? Spirit is there nurturing you and helping you get through the dark times, helping you shine the light on the things you need to release and let go of. All of us have them. Even I do. I'm always learning. When I took those classes a month ago, some of the lessons that I had to do to get my certificate really made me look at some of the things that I thought I had dealt with that I hadn't, right? We all have them. Knight of Wands. Okay, this knight is a very fast acting knight. This is fire, passion. Knights are forward movement, right? So this is a message of Libras, right? When you get through this, okay, get through this releasing, right? Choosing what your tools are, right? Getting into some good meditation, some good feeling, keeping your energy and frequency high by not depleting yourself, remembering that Spirit, your guides are there, your ancestors that have crossed, that you can move forward, right? The Knight of Wands is the fastest moving knight in the deck. So I feel almost, Libras, like once you embrace this and deal with it, that boom, you're just going to take off like that. You're going to feel much freer, much more flexible. I don't know how to, oh, wow, I'm all done with this. And, what were, I can't remember. Yeah, it was, and it's letting go. So all those messages that were in the cup about the semicircle and closing things off and taking the steps could have to do with something that you have not dealt with yet. It still could be that friend, like we said, but it could be that. All right. Your animal oracle is number 2, balance and choice, eagle. Soar high, lead with clarity and vision. Yeah, we can't lead anyone unless we have clarity and vision. And what they're kind of showing me, oh, this is so weird. Going back to the coffee cup when we were saying that you needed to help somebody get free. So what I'm seeing is like a person holding someone's hand and kind of sweeping their hand up and letting go of the person. Like, there you go. The person, the feeling, the energy, whatever it is for you. Libras, I truly, truly hope this has helped. I will be back with readings for the second half of December. If you want to see me on TikTok for shorter, usually 3 minutes or less readings for signs and tarot tutorials, that channel is NSEH207_tarot. I hope you all have a fantastic beginning of December. Peace and kindness. I love you all.